So I'm actually feeling a bit spoiled. So this is the second day in a row that it's not been raining, which is a bit of a miracle really. We must have had about, I don't know, like 4 months or something where it's kind of rained nearly every day. I mean, probably had half a dozen dry days. So, I mean, I don't mind riding in the wet if I'm going somewhere. But if you're just going for a ride, you know, setting off and it's raining and then, you know, it rains for the next 2 hours whilst you're out, it's just no fun really. So it's just so nice just to have a few dry days, and we actually had a bit of sunshine earlier, which was a welcome change as well. So so anyway, it's great to be out. So this is just a short video really, just to kind of, I suppose it's a sort of an update on the channel, I guess. So just to let my half a dozen subscribers, God bless you, know I'm still alive and still riding my bike and all that kind of stuff. So but I mean, it's fair to say that I haven't been particularly active, because I tend to be, if I've not got nothing, if there's nothing to say, I tend not to say it really. But I did have some good trips back in, so I went to the Alps, mostly Italy and Switzerland, back in September, October, and I went to the Picos d'Europa in November. But to be frank, the only long video I posted was in the Alps, doing the Umbrail Pass. And then in the Picos I didn't publish anything really. I just a few shorts and some Instagram stuff, but not a great deal at all. And there is a reason for that, and that's because I'm quite slack really. So I haven't been very conscientious, and what tends to happen is, you know, so I was in the Picos and I had my cameras on and all that kind of stuff, but you get back to the hotel at the end of the day and, you know, your microphone wasn't on, or the camera was pointed up at the sky or something like that. So just basic, not really paying enough attention. So it was kind of hard to make any films that were worth sharing. So as I said, I did do some shorts and stuff like that. So I mean, the first part of this video really is just to kind of make a commitment. I mean, given that spring seems to have sprung, it feels like a time of new beginnings. So I'm going to try a bit harder and try and get organised, and you know, with that in mind, I'm sort of revamping my kind of vlogging setup. So you know, having a good look at the cameras and the audio and what mics I'm using, all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of hoping that I can kind of simplify, but also hopefully be more consistent to be able to post some decent content. So I mean, that's sort of the kind of first part of it. And I am planning some trips later this year, so I've got a bit more time on my hands at the moment, so which is a really good thing. So I'm just sort of in the early phases of planning, but I've got a couple of epics up my sleeve, so you know, definitely looking forward to that. And I'd like to be able to kind of document them and share whatever I learn as a result of you know, my research and my travelling. So definitely looking forward to that. So the first part of this video is just to say I'm still alive. I'm going to try harder, and there's some good stuff coming. I guess the other thing is just to note really that I've had my new bike now for a little while, so about 4 or 5 months, and I used it for the 2 trips I've just mentioned. You know, anyone who's watched the channel at all will know that I'm a Triumph Scrambler 1200. It's been my bike for the last 3 years. I did about 36,000 miles on it. Awesome bike, but I just felt like I needed a change, and I was going to get a Tiger GT Pro, and you know, keep with the sort of Tiger, the Triumph thing, because I probably must have had about 5 Triumphs in a row now. But I just thought, oh, I've got to do something different, and you know, everyone goes on about the BMW and the GS and all that kind of stuff. So I sort of went over to the dark side and got myself a BMW R 1300 GS. So it's the first BMW I've ever had. So and indeed, it's the first BMW I've ever ridden. So I'm kind of completely fresh to it. So I know a lot of people, you know, it's sort of a bit of a Marmite thing, you know, mixed views, and you know, GS 1250 guys are kind of still you know, kind of in a process of grieving over the updates. So I was going to say upgrades, but I think I think there's some differences of view about whether it's improved or not. But I'm coming to it with an open mind, and you know, having not experienced the BMW before, and I must say the first few months it has been an absolutely fantastic bike. And you know, in terms of long trips, I mean, it's you know, it certainly covers the miles, and you know, it's a very different experience. I mean, I love the Scrambler, but it's a very, very different experience. And you know, my initial impressions are it's a great bike, but it's not perfect. There are some things which are a bit irritating or aren't quite as good as they should be. So at some point I will do a bit of a kind of review of you know, kind of my first 6 months or so on the GS. So that's the second thing, is just a kind of update on the change of bike. And then the third thing is a small thing really, but it's about navigation. And I posted a video last summer about the Galaxy Samsung Active Tab 3 that I was using for navigation and you know, for managing media and stuff like that on the bike. Yeah, at that time I was a little bit disparaging of kind of the CarPlay units, but they seem to have improved considerably and come down in price, and that's what I'm using now. So you know, probably eat my words a little bit, but you know, I'll do a bit of a review of how I'm getting on with the CarPlay thing. So this is an Aoocci unit, so it was pretty cheap, I thought. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was less than 200 quid, which, you know, I think you know, seemed, you know, fairly reasonable to me, and it works great. And if you're a BMW, you know, if you've got the BMW navigation cradle, it literally, you just slot it in the cradle and it starts working. So it just couldn't be simpler really. So yeah, so I'll share some experiences of how I'm using that, and you know, what route planning software am I using now, and you know, how does that translate across into using that particular device for navigation. So I guess that's it really. So as I say, it was just a quick update, mostly just to you know, let you know that I'm still here. Yeah, it's just so great to be out. So I'm in the Peak District, and just out for a ride, and it's not raining for once, and you know, I'm really looking forward to the spring and the summer and those trips that I've talked about. So thanks for sticking with me, thanks for watching this video, and I will definitely see you soon.